if you read the writings of people like Barbara Marx Hubbard, one of the wealthiest women in the world, she ran for the Democrat nomination for the vice president in 1984, and you read her book, The Revelation, the book of co-creation, she talks about the necessity of killing a quarter of the population of the world, those who will not evolve to a higher level of consciousness. And as she says in her book, she said, that's not your job to do the killing, that's ours, for we are the riders of the pale horse death, referring to Revelation 6:8. David Foreman, who was one of the founders of Earth First, financed by the great foundations and by people of great wealth, talked about getting the world population down to 100 million. All they need is enough people to serve them and their desires. These are the elitists. They have a different worldview. Do you really want to have them controlling your destiny and the destiny of your family?
One is maintain the world population at 500 million in constant balance with nature, which doesn't sound too bad until you realize that we've got over 6 billion people in the world, and if we're going to maintain the world population at 500 million in constant balance with nature, we're going to have to kill off about 90% or more of the world's population.
Today's population is 6 billion. They want to maintain humanity under 1/2 billion. Looks like a lot of people got to die for their plan to work, which is, by the way, the plan. Jacques Cousteau said we'd have to eliminate 350,000 people a day. 1/3 of a million people a day would have to be eliminated to save Mother Earth. Bill Clinton said we need to reduce the population of the Earth to 1 billion. There are a lot of folks who would like to reduce the population of the Earth.
A magazine called the Omega Letter says that there is only one obstacle to world unity: Christianity. It goes on to say that Christianity claims supernatural knowledge and divine revelation, and therefore should not be tolerated. Gus Hall, the former leader of the Communist Party in America, said, "I dream of a time when the last congressman is strangled to death on the guts of the last preacher. And since the Christians love to sing about the blood, why not give them a little of it?" A New Age group calling itself Solar Questers writes, "These are wondrous times because the world has gone through this terrific experience as it spins slowly back to its rightful orbit in the position that it should be in the heavens. And as this happens, more and more comfort and well-being will come upon this world, and those who hinder will be removed, liquidated. They must be wiped clean off the face of the earth." Ruth Montgomery, sometimes referred to as the herald of the New Age, said, "Millions will survive and millions won't. Those who won't will go into the spirit state because there is truly no death." The authors of a New Age pamphlet titled Cosmic Countdown claim to have received messages from a higher intelligence. The pamphlet says the world should be forewarned to be on the lookout for the decimation of populations. These peoples will eventually be replaced by the new root race about to make its appearance in a newly cleansed world. Aleister Crowley taught that a global massacre would be necessary to bring about the New Age. He wrote, "There is a magical operation of maximum importance, the initiation of a new eon. When it becomes necessary to utter a word, the whole planet must be bathed in blood. Before man is ready to accept the law of Thelema, or will, the great war must be fought. This bloody sacrifice is the critical point of the world ceremony of the crowned and conquering child as Lord of the Eon."
I have been a one-worlder all my life. I believe in it. I believe in a global village. All this language is all leading us into a new way of living, and it's wonderful. We've got to allocate dwindling resources, or we're going to go extinct. We're going to kill each other off. It's our only chance.
And have you noticed the quickening of things taking place on your planet? The quickening of the old ways being tossed out and shaken out. Because it is the earth making the way for the new energies. The new way is going to be the Christ consciousness.
We are going into a new era of new frequencies, and all of us are going to have to adjust to this because it's evolution, and we don't have a choice. So if you know that, then I guess the next thing to say is, how do I prepare
We genetically manipulate children to create super children, which are prophets, and they will make decisions for us in the future. And if you find someone that can know the future, they can make an informed choice. They can make the right decisions about the totality of our existence. They can allocate resources efficiently. We call these children the Antichrist. I'm Antichrist. It's not one person. It's what you think. It's not on the forehead. It's in the forehead.
This is going to bring us this energy that the ancients called the serpent energy. And Gaia is going to be a conduit for this energy that is going to be activated through the grids on Mother Earth from the sun. And once the grids are activated and the serpent energy starts moving through Gaia, I think that this energy is going to be everywhere. And we are going to be a conduit for this energy. And if we've done the work, then perhaps we're going to be lucky enough to enlighten. For I don't think everyone will enlighten. I just think that's going to be for a very few people that have done all the work. Certain individuals that do the work are the perfect conduit for this serpentine energy that comes up through Mother Earth.
Snakes started coming in through the jungle. I had visions of snakes, and they would look at me and then immediately start savagely like going inside my body and like eating my organs, like going down my throat and eating their way out and like exploding through my body. And I know enough from psychedelic experiences to just witness and allow and just let it happen, you know. But then it just continued to build. And so what happened next is this giant organic flotilla of like snakes and feathers comes, like a giant, kind of like an organic mothership comes. And it hovers over my head and it's living. It's like a living mothership, right? And it starts sucking black smoke out of my body.
Methyltryptamine connects you to the spirit world. And the idea is that there is a world that is all around us all the time, but we just cannot tune into it. And there's a world of souls, and there's a world of the afterlife, and there's a world of non-embodied entities that are, to the experiencer, to the subjective person that's having this experience, they're as real, if not more real, than this life itself.
Very similar with UFO abductees, who are abducted repeatedly for their hybrid offspring. If you go back to the Middle Ages, you'll find that fairies were renowned for abducting people, that they were sometimes cruel and tortured people, but they also sometimes gave people gifts, including healing powers, that they could fly, that they had aerial vehicles. All this is very common in fairy lore. And when fairies abducted you, they would quite often take you underground.
And my body felt very like tingly and it was like vibrating and buzzing. And then I started to see like big bugs, like these huge like ants and spiders like crawling across my vision with my eyes open and closed. I felt my body like I'm possessed. I'm just taken over with the spirit of ayahuasca. Ayahuasca can bring you to a state of just pure hell and misery and close to death.
The future of the human race is a merger of man and machine. We are already several phases into this master plan, and humans are not aware, as it's intended to move slowly as to not cause a disturbance or awakening in human consciousness, as it has already been heavily integrated beginning in ancient times. Of course, there will be many casualties along the way. You pay for equipment to be installed in your home that will monitor and track you, giving up privacy for the sake of convenience. By limiting human freedom and uniqueness, it's easier to control the population. A transhumanist future intends to merge the vast expression of life into one singular being. A transhumanist future doesn't include diversity, but oneness as the end goal.
We are going to remake ourselves, and it's very difficult to deal with because it will rip free all of the anchors that have until now told us who we are as human beings.
This body is not sacred. The way we are is not some kind of God-given plan. It's really a pure random accident. We take two sets of genes and we shuffle them and something comes out. Sometimes it's a wonderful product, sometimes it has a hole in the heart, sometimes it has psychosis or tendencies towards extreme anger. It's random. There's not a plan there that we're thwarting. So genetic engineering seems to be one of the most moral things we can do.
A single species is defined by the isolation of our genetics, reproductive isolation. But when you begin to take genes from different species to mix together all of the genetics that is available among all animals, and also to design new alterations to the genetics, well, reproductive isolation really doesn't have much meaning anymore. You can imagine all sorts of forms and that will evolve in the future.
Our bodies could be beautiful electronic designs that shimmer prismatically in the morning light, could change forms and totally mutate into some fluid type of luminescent, snake-like quality.
You can rearrange the human body and try to make humans fly like bats fly, not just trying to take an injured human and returning them to normal, but taking a human and making them superhuman, making them go beyond.
Our future is not to try and hold back genetic engineering, but to try and use it in a way that best serves us. If our children can be more intelligent, healthier, and live longer lives through altering our genetics, why would we not want to do it? I mean, imagine if other children could live for 2 centuries, and if you could only live for 80 years because your parents believed that it was improper to tamper with human genetics. You would not be pleased with that decision. And all of your classmates were much, much brighter because there had been some biological or genetic manipulation that was possible.
I've been reading up on it, and I don't belong in this body. I think I'm trans. Oh, it's all right, darling. I swear.
It really is. Now, if it turns out that we've got a lovely son instead of a lovely daughter, then we'll be happy.
No, I'm not transsexual.
But you said trans. What did we call you then?
I'm transhuman. I'm not comfortable with my body. So I want to get rid of it. This thing, all the arms and legs and every single bit of it. I don't want to be flesh. I'm going to escape this thing and become digital.
What do you mean?
One day, soon, they'll have clinics where you can go and you'll sign a form and they'll take your brain and download it into the cloud.
So you want to kill yourself?
I want to live forever as information, because that's what transhumans are, Mum. Not male or female, better. Where I'm going, there's no life or death, there's only data. I will be data.
We should be very careful about artificial intelligence. I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Didn't work out.
We are going to become gods, period. If you don't like it, get off. You don't have to participate. But if you're going to interfere with me becoming God, we'll have big trouble. Then we'll have warfare. The only way you can prevent me is to kill me. And you kill me, I'll kill you.
Biblical prophecy said that as we entered into the final phases of the last days, that en masse, man would reject the Holy Scriptures as they were written, would reject Jesus Christ as the Redeemer, and would accept in its place a new Messiah, simply called Antichrist by the Bible. Antichrist is a mimic of Christ in ethics and morality, and he will have great spiritual powers to prove who he is, and that he has come to lead mankind into the next quantum leap of his evolution into godhood status so that he may join the intergalactic civilizations that are out there. This is something to investigate fully, and we are not preaching at you. We are just hoping that you will open your Bibles and read what it actually does say. And we think if you will do so with an open heart and an open mind, you'll find all the answers to the UFO enigma, the UFO mystery, right in the pages of the Holy Bible. Because the UFO is going to play probably the most strategic role of all in the coming delusion that God claims he will cast down upon earth. And in fact, that delusion is already well in operation. The accuracy of the scriptures is 100%. God himself says that the accuracy of the prophetic scriptures must be and will be 100%. Not like Jeannie Dixon or Edgar Cayce or any of the other seers and mystics or gurus that we see today. They may be accurate occasionally, but with Bible prophecy, it is absolutely 100% accurate. The Bible prophecy said that the scriptures would be rejected, that people would consider it a myth, they would mock at it and scoff at it and laugh at it and just reject it out of hand, that the scientific community would opt for evolution rather than creation. They would develop a worship of nature, they would develop an attitude of being gods, and that in the end they would bring in a new religion, the worship of Mother Earth, or goddess religion if you will, a rejection of the Scriptures, a rejection of Christ, a rejection of His message, a rejection of the fall, and opting for the multitudinous lies that Satan has been feeding mankind ever since he tricked Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. The Bible told us about all of this and how it would all come together and form a Sisyphus in the end and sweep mankind into the arms of Satan himself, that the vast majority of mankind would actually and literally worship the devil himself, thinking that it was God himself. Now, when you stop and think about that, you would say, well, I would never worship Satan, even if I was a non-Christian. I don't believe in Satan. I don't believe in demons, and therefore I do not worship Satan, and I never would. Satan is evil. We have to correct that illusionary concept of Satan. The Bible teaches that Satan does not appear as evil to the vast majority within the world itself. He appears rather as an angel of light, an angel of goodness, an angel of love, an angel of wisdom, an angel of knowledge, an angel of healing, an angel to help mankind for merging with the cosmos or going back to whence he came and all that that entails. But it is all a delusion. It is a front. And as soon as the human race has fallen for this last day delusion, the mask will come off and the truth will be actually revealed. Evolution, as is taught today, stands in direct opposition to Jesus Christ, who claimed mankind was created and did not evolve out of the swamps and gases of the universe as it formed the planets and stars and the galaxies. This delusion is a delusion to damn the human race according to the ancient scriptures. The Bible makes a very, very interesting and very dangerous statement. It says that God would cast down upon the earth what he called a strong delusion. The word strong means effectual, so strong that only those who either listen to the Bible or listen to Christ will escape this coming delusion. This delusion is going to include lying signs and wonders. We're going to show you UFOs are part of that, strange sights in heavens, contact with aliens. Very, very interesting that this is happening on the UFO, the Roswell incident in 1947, and how it parallels what Jesus Christ said was the final and last generation that would be the end of mankind's probation upon this planet. We challenge you to get back, to go back, or to open up the Bible and begin to read what it has to say about the last days upon earth and about this strong delusion that would come when the sons of God, who landed way back before the flood, who were present in the beginnings of mankind, would return and would do the same things that they did back in those days. We're going to get into those prophecies that Jesus made about the days of Noah and what would happen as we finally close down the last days upon earth of the last generation. This is serious business. To make a mistake here, if you are truly investigating to find the truth, if you truly wish to know the truth, then you have to open your heart to all the avenues that are available to us, all the concepts, all the ideas, and find out that which is most likely aligned to the truth. And then we are to embrace that as the most likely thing. This delusion has been operative for some time. The lies that have been presented to mankind regarding evolution, life in the universe, alien beings, intergalactic civilizations, etc., are all part of the program that the Bible prophecy laid out to entrap those that rejected the message. This is more serious than anything that we can imagine, and yet most people are taking it very lightly. They don't seem to understand what is happening. The prevailing opinion is that mankind was seeded here by alien beings who have periodically come back and made genetic alterations, and that eventually they will come back and guide us into the next phase of our evolution. The Bible stands absolutely opposed to that concept.